Welcome back to the channel and the RSV4RF build. And I've got to get this bike ready by Tuesday night for a photo shoot, which means I've got to get it finished. And today is already Saturday. Let's get into it. So that's one seat completely prepped and ready to go. All I've got to do is glue it. So I've just got to glue the fabric back onto the base. I've just got this is Sally's Shoe Fix glue, and it should do the trick. It's basically for gluing fabric back onto like a rubber or plastic surface. So the biggest job is yet to come, because what we've got to do now is we've actually got to prep the tank. Okay, so now that the tank's off, I need to strip it right down, which means the cap has to come off. All the electrics have to come out, so the pump has to come off as well. Anything that doesn't need to be there for painting needs to come off. The tank is now completely stripped down. I've got anything electrical, everything off it that shouldn't be on it. I've got the pump out of it. So now what I want to do is, instead of using solvents to get rid of this top coat, I'm actually just going to use sandpaper, because it's a plastic tank, so I don't want to use anything solvent based, because I just don't know how it's going to react with plastic. So I hit this tank with heaps of different grades of sandpaper, and it still didn't give me the finish I wanted, but it's probably the closest I could get to perfect. Okay, so that's the boring part done. Now this is the fun part. This is where I've actually got the bike mocked up. All the fairings have been primed, prepped and sanded. I've washed them down with water. Now it's about design. So as much as this is the fun part, it's also the most stressful, because now I've got to come up with something interesting. So I've got this big box of decals, and I've got two massive big RSV4RF decals as well for somewhere on the side of the bike. I don't know where just yet, but all of this needs to start going on here. So I've just got a roll of duct tape. I'm just going to duct tape stuff on, have a bit of a play with some designs, get a bit of a feel for where the colors are going to go. Right, so I've done a bit of a mock-up, but I'm not sure I'm happy with it. So let me run you through it. So the screen, when it goes on, will have like a oneL sticker just on the side of it. I've got a factory sticker here and the Aprilia writing. I've got a little flag, little Italian flag at the front there. I've got my typical oneL Moto sticker on the side, and then if we look right down the bottom of the fairing, you'll actually see I've gone with the RSV4RF right at the bottom. I just think it's different. Like everyone else puts it in a big band across the bike. I don't know if I want to be that obvious. I just think more subtle is better. I've got a oneL sticker just here, just on the tank. Aprilia Racing sticker just here. We've got an RSV4RF sticker at the back, but I don't know if I really need that because it says it at the bottom anyway. It's pretty obvious. And I do also have these, which are pretty cool. This is actually, I don't know if you can see that. This is the Aprilia, is it a lion's head? I'm not sure, maybe a cougar head. But I think that could go on the bike somewhere as well. I'm just not sure where. Maybe underneath the back, maybe just up under there, I could put that. Yeah, again, I want to go understated. I don't want to go too in your face. Remember, it's going to be that Audi green with, if I want, I've also got my Audi grey. It's not Nardo grey, it's, I'll think of the name, put it in the, right here. So now I've just got to get my 5mm tape, my little line marking tape, and start marking out the different colours, what's going to be green, what's going to be grey, what's going to be white, what's going to be black. And that's the hard part. So I've got to be honest, I can't land on something I really like. Either it's too simple or too over the top. So I think what I might do is I might get a second opinion. I'll wait till my wife gets home. She's pretty good with colours and stuff. And she'll be able to tell me if this is on the money or off the money. So this would basically be the super dark green on the outside with the stickers that I showed you before, the decals I showed you before, and inside here would be the dark grey with probably a black pinstripe on the edge, so a black pinstripe the whole way around, just to separate the grey from the green. So wifey thinks that, tell me, what do you reckon?
I reckon green, white and grey.
Okay, so instead of doing a black stripe here, make that stripe white, and then that way, what does it do? It
will, because the wheels are white.
Yeah.
So it's got whole things go together.
Ties it all in. Cool. Nice.
I think so.
Squish your head. Squish. If you're an impatient person, then I suggest finding someone else to do this, because this has got to be the most annoying part of any paint job. Masking up and getting it perfect. So before I go any further, I'm just going to double check everything, because this is the point of no return, and this is the scariest part of every single build. So basically, I'm just going to come in and check all of my lines, make sure there's no gaps and no air lines, no air getting under, because I don't want grey paint going everywhere this first round of paint. So yeah, just making sure all my masking lines are perfect, and then getting myself set up so that when it comes to paint, there's not going to be anything slowing me down. I need to get probably 3 or 4 coats of grey. I need 8 to 10 minutes between each coat. So I need to put that time aside. I need to make sure I've got absolutely everything laid out and ready in the exact sequence that I need it. So I've got my scales, I've got my gun, I've got my mixers, I've got my measures, they're all here. I've got my new filters, not that I'm going to need it, but I've got a new filter in there for the grey. So I think I'm ready. So yeah, let's do it. You could say I'm a little bit nervous. Oh, I don't know why I get so nervous about painting, but I guess this is why most people use a body shop. is looking pretty good. I quite like, and it's smooth. Oh yeah, that is smooth. So that's not bad at all. I don't even know if I need to sandpaper that. Like I might just be able to go straight over that with clear. Some nice defined lines as well. Looking good so far. So now what I'll do is I'll actually just let this dry for another couple of hours. Then I'll reverse mask it and then start applying the actual Audi District Green. Okay, so I'm reverse masked. That took me about an hour. So I think it's all nice and neat. All my edges are perfect, except there's a couple of tiny little spots, but I'm pretty sure once I put the white line on it, you're not gonna notice. All done. So, green paint, here we go. So with the color all done, I've got to admit, it's way darker than I first thought, but it still looks pretty cool. So once I add some white, it's gonna pop even more. But there is a clear difference here between the gray and the green, which is cool. I can't wait to see what it actually looks like in sunlight. It should look a lot lighter. So anyway, what we're gonna do now is I'm just gonna get the clear on, I think, because that means that by tomorrow morning, I can put the decals on, put it all back together, and then before the weekend, get all the bikes to this beautiful spot in the city where I can get a bit of a photo shoot done, and that is practically the bike complete, minus the new bracket that we're getting made at the moment for the Reg, and minus the dyno, but functionally complete. Next morning, and I've waited for this paint to dry, but it's gonna take a while, and I can't literally take this bike anywhere until I put a chain on it. So the ID racing chain, we've gone with gold because I think gold will really pop against the colors that we've chosen. So as soon as we've got the chain on, we will then put the fairings on and do hopefully a final fit up. And then aside from the Reg bracket, I can't really see what else we've got left. So it's been an epic bike so far. Let's get this chain on. So I've also routed that fuel breather. I've routed that down there and just put an extension on it. So both those breathers are together down the bottom now, and they run up behind that cover all the way up to where they need to go into the back of the tank, just here. And I've also prepped the tank. So I've got everything ready. I've got the fuel pump on, I've got the top on, I've got all the little attachments on, and it's all torqued down to spec. So next up, let's put the fairing on, put the tank on, see how she looks. So there we go, another bike built, and I couldn't be happier. Like, it's actually turned out really, really nice. It's a lot lighter in the sun than it is in the garage, and I was a little bit dubious about this color to start with, but it's growing on me. I think it's subtle. I think it's got just the right amount of color, the amount of white, and some accents, some gold accents as well. So I just want to thank some of our sponsors. I want to thank Motor Garage. I want to thank Moto Mia. You guys have been absolutely amazing throughout this build. Luckily, this is an RF, so this bike came with a lot of goodies. It's already got the full Öhlins package. So we didn't have to do a great deal of performance upgrades. We did do things like brake pads, RC19 Corsa quarter brakes as well. So next step for this, now that the build is finished, is we'll send it off to dyno and see what this puppy can produce, and then it'll be up for sale. So and on to the next build. So let me know in the comments what you think about this bike and what you think we should build next. Should we build maybe something Japanese? Should we stick to Italian? I'll be pretty keen to do like a ZX10 or an R1. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, you know the drill. Till next time.